Women of Reddit. What common insecurities do men have about their bodies that women don't actually care about? No one wants to peep for 8 hours. It's fine. Getting sweaty during sex. I had a BF that always felt so bad if any sweat dripped onto me, and I was always like, I literally don't care, keep going. If we're at the point of being naked, I like the person. I like that person enough to take the gamble that their body looks like a normal body. And there's plenty of sexy/adorable parts of it. There's definitely also going to be neutral and unattractive parts of any body. Because it's a body. I honestly have no idea what would cause me to change my mind of not liking a person based on the way they look. Short of some hygiene issue. My limited experience has included a variety of body shapes, heights, etc. And it's all been super fun. Because sex is fun. The best, sexiest thing is to be with someone who is having fun. If I can be with someone who is smiling and laughing and having fun during sex, the sex will be awesome. Please stop worrying about your dick or your hair or your weight or your muscle definition or your whatever else, and know that for most people, we're just happy to be there. Being the best, smartest, toughest, funniest. It's better to be individual with your niche interests, looks, sense of humor rather than try to be the brightest. Also, it's more attractive to acknowledge the success of your friends than to talk about their shortcomings. Men always apologize if they come early on while having sex. But it's really not a problem so long as they bring the woman to completion in some way afterwards. Ain't nothing wrong with a second round or some selfless hard work. I'll be honest. I kind of love when a partner comes early sometimes. It feels flattering in a way. Like whatever I did was so outstanding they couldn't help themselves. That said, I do like my partner to get me there too. One way or another. Graying hair. My 32-year-old husband is currently freaking out because he has so many, it's not that many, gray hairs. I couldn't give two speeps lol, I think he's still just as handsome and I really don't see what the big deal is. Don't worry about coming off as nerdy or brainy FFS Plaza, think for yourself and enjoy your hobbies. We actually dig someone with passion, and honestly being able to hold conversation with depth is delicious. Extra points on sarcasm, wit and humor. I like healthy teeth. But years ago I long-term dated a guy with crooked front teeth that to me made him cuter really. Especially when he laughed. I ended up marrying a guy with a gap in his front teeth. Again. Great with a good laugh. Baldness. There are plenty of hot men that are bald. Honestly the same ones as women most of the times. Such as stretch marks and scars. I couldn't care less. I have them also. Oatmeal cream pies have stretch marks and no one turns them down. Money. I've seen a few guys try to act like they have money to burn in order to impress their dates, me included, but then not be able to pay the bills at the end of the month. Honestly. I'll take stability and honesty over a fancy dinner any day. ETA. Yeah, I miss bodies, but honestly I love all bodies, and money has been one of the biggest insecurity and relationship killer I've ever dealt with. Oops. Bleary-eyed at work again, I guess. The memory that came up was one of my first serious boyfriends who was on the bigger side with a receding hairline, in his 20s, ran in the family, but he was a great guy and we had a ton in common. Great chemistry. I was completely hooked and thinking he was the one. Unfortunately he always seemed to need to overcompensate for not being as conventionally hot as the other guys by constantly spending money and bragging about how much he made. It got to the point where he was even lying to my family about getting them expensive trips to a winter resort for Christmas, which never materialized because he couldn't actually afford it. I didn't care about the resort or the toys or the meals out or showing up the other people in our circle. I was just constantly embarrassed that he felt he needed to lie about being flush with cash when in reality we were rolling quarters at the end of the month to afford groceries. In the end that's what did us in. The women who are impressed by overspending aren't worth dating anyway. Edit. To clarify. The problem isn't how much you actually have but trying to pretend it's more. Spending beyond one's means is as attractive as a comb-over. It's the toupee of financial management. Hair on their chest or arms. It's there, yeah, and no one cares. Don't mind me, I'm just here to read the answers and be a little happy. My husband is way too worried about how big his biceps are. He was a really skinny kid, our son is the same way, so I think he always just wanted to be the big tough guy. Well, now he's got muscles and he's constantly asking me what I think of them. I mean, dude, I'm into you no matter what size your biceps. Like contractually obligated for the past 15 years, I'm not going anywhere even if you can't lift heavy things. This is my favorite post ever. I'm sitting here puffing my chest out thinking I'm the absolute living speep with all my flaws. Thank you, ladies. You made me and probably a few hundred other guys feel a lot better tonight.